Have you ever had one of those moments in your life when you had to stop yourself and go, why? Why did I do that? What was I thinking? You could have been doing something else, something better, something more productive. Well, if this is you, make sure you stay until the end of the video. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys a little bit about something I did before I learned the power of the subconscious mind, that I was like, why was I doing that? Why was I settling? Why was I allowing that to be my end goal? All right, so if you are ready, let's get into the video. Okay guys, so just before I begin the video, let's just keep this in a positive light. I'm not trying to downplay or try to take away from anybody who's doing this. This is my channel, this is my story, this is my experience, and this is my subconscious and me waking up and just realizing how much power and strength and just amazing qualities that I have, that I chose that this, what I'm going to tell you, is more settling for me. For you, this may not be settling for you. This may be a goal for you. And guess what? Knock it out. Do what you do. But for me, I realize for me and what I know I can do and the potential that I have and just the unlocking of my subconscious mind, I said, no, we can't do this anymore. We need to focus our energy, our time, and our efforts on something new. So I do have my notepad here just in case I get off track. So just in case you're wondering, what am I looking at? I am looking at my notepad. So as you guys know, I've kind of been talking about the subconscious mind. I will continue to talk about the subconscious mind because it is so powerful. It literally controls 95% of what you do. So I think that is important to understand the subconscious mind. And I recommend a book by Joseph Murphy called The Power of the Subconscious Mind. Also, I'm learning about certain types of thinking. I also recommend that is How Successful People Think. I think it's by John Maxwell. So again, I'm all about taking in information and kind of mixing it with all the stuff I already know so I can just manifest and just put amazing things out in the atmosphere, as well as here on my YouTube channel. All right, so I will tell you guys, I started off, and I say being distracted and on the wrong path because a couple months ago, my daughter's grandmom, or her Mimi, sent me a video, or I sent her a video, and she showed me how many views on TikTok that it got. And I was just minding my business, and I was like, wow, she's really blowing up on all these social media sites. So it started off with her video on TikTok. Thank you, Mimi. And then also people were sharing it on Instagram. I think there was like 3 or 4 channels or pages that were sharing it on Instagram. Then on YouTube, it was blowing up. So it had me thinking, well, we don't want her just being on the internet and we're not being paid for this wonderful entertainment. I mean, that's just blowing up all over the place. So I figured, like, let's fix that. So I started looking into putting her like creating a page for her, seeing if she can get brand deals like with some of the popular, companies, and like Fisher Price, Little Tyke, Gap Kids, Old Navy, some of those companies. And I was like, well, yeah, why not? If she's cute, she's profitable in that way, hey, let's make it happen. Let's see if she can. Well, I'm not saying she's profitable, but I'm just saying that if she can seem to make profit looking, good in people's clothing, she's adorable, why not try it? So I built her page and I was able to grow her page very well. And I even hired a coach. I joined a program that was supposed to help me be able to help monetize her Instagram, because we're not about to be influencers that are not paid. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong. They want to be influencers and hoping that brands come after them and they don't get paid, and they're wasting time in and time out, hours in and hours out, and nothing ever comes of it. So I realized the first thing that I did was try to be the influencer, and it was working in the sense of I was able to get a lot of followers. A lot of people share my stuff. I got thousands of views and nothing came from it. The couple companies that I did reach out to let them know, hey, my daughter is, up and coming influencer. Check her out here, here, and here. I would get a bunch of free products and things like that, but nothing that was like, oh yeah, we would love to do a brand deal with you. And I was like, okay, well, this doesn't seem to be going in the right direction. So I just continued to do research, and my coach was helping me. And I come to find out that, first of all, one of the hardest things that you have to kind of realize when you're becoming an influencer, because I think everybody's like, yes, my followers, my audience, they love me, brands, 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 but they forget to realize that brands don't want you. I don't care how beautiful you are, I don't know how well you can sing, whatever craft you're putting together. Brands do not want you. They want your followers. And that's one of the hardest things to realize. And that's what got me, because I was like, oh, so I guess it doesn't really matter how cute she looks in her clothes. They want the followers. So I'm like, well, starting up a page, there's not a lot of followers. And then even with becoming an up and coming influencer, you're creating a page. Some people will put you in groups, and then like your followers are up one day and then you lose a bunch of followers the next day. And so I realized, first of all, I don't like that at all. And then I also thought like it had to do more with your actual child or even yourself as an influencer, not your followers. So they're basically using you because they know that if you have the followers, that means you have the stats and the numbers of, hey, you interact with your followers this much. So if you push a product for us, we know that you have the influence to be able to make sure people buy that product, because you have to understand that people only will get from you or buy from you once they buy into the person who's promoting that product. So if they bought into my daughter, then if we push something, then they would be more willing to do it. But starting out, you really don't have that. And so it is what it is on that one. So I realized, yeah, I don't really like that either. Another big thing that I realized was like, this is taking up so much time, and there's not a return on investment. And I'm not about to be working for nothing. I don't want to be trading my time for money in that way. So I was like, this isn't really working out. And so I realized the niche that she was going to be in was going to be clothing. And I realized a lot of the clothing companies, unfortunately, didn't use influencers, they use models. So I kind of peep-toed into seeing what models are and what they do. And that requires a lot on children. And it's like, you go to a model agency, they take a lot of pictures. They tell you when there's a show or a commercial that you're needed. You have to drive hours to it. And then you have to audition on set to get it still. Because just because you're asked to go out there, it doesn't mean you have the job. You have multiple hours on set, not guaranteed to get it, and then you're getting paid months after. I said, no, this is really quickly becoming a waste of time. And then also the niche I said I was in was like clothing. They're not as profitable as like toys, things that can be bought for both boys and girls. And then the biggest thing that got me is the algorithm. It changes too much. And I don't mind batching content, which is like just sitting there doing video upon video upon video. So I can have 2 to 3, 4 weeks worth of content. But if there's an algorithm change in between, then that content that I've been batching and working for, especially if I prepped my captions, is now not going to be good, because Instagram could have now said, well, now you need to use these 7 keywords to go viral. And I wasn't necessarily trying to go viral. I wanted it to be that she had enough views, enough interactions, so that companies would be willing to work with her. And so, long story short, I realized there was a lot of time put in for no return on investment. I think I did get free Chubby Todd products, which is great. It was $80 worth of stuff, and it actually started helping my daughter's eczema. And I think that was basically it. And then a lot of people gave me discounted pricing on clothing, but for all the work, the stuff I was doing, it definitely was not a return on investment. And then I had to stop myself and go, why are you doing this? If this isn't something that you are seeing a return on your investment, if this isn't something that you were planning on doing anyway, don't get sidetracked, and let's get back to something else that really can be more aligned with what you're going to do. And so I really had to think about that. And I was like, you know what? I sure am settling for, becoming an influencer in that way and trying to be okay and good enough for other people. But I'm like, I am now in a place realizing that I can do anything. I can do more than be an influencer. And I realized I don't want to be an influencer. I wanted to be, well, I say it like this. I don't want to be an influencer looking for brands and people to work with me on that way. I just want to have an Instagram and people come to my channel looking for me in that way. So I was like, yeah, I'm not going to be doing that anymore, because it's far too much. And it's not saying I couldn't do it. honestly, that's not something I really have a desire to do. And I'm actually going to do a video about that. It's not that I can't, I don't have the desire and I don't want to, because I can do anything I put my mind to. I just don't have a desire to do that any longer. I want to serve a higher purpose. And so that's why I'm here on YouTube creating content that is life-changing and hopefully motivating for you guys. And I do want to stop here and personally thank you guys so much. I've gotten so many amazing comments in the last couple of my videos. The channel and family is growing, and you guys don't know what that means to me, because I started off a couple years ago not in the right place, subconsciously and consciously. All of that, it was not the right time, but now I have been getting followers every single day. My views are going up, and I am so excited to see this channel expand and grow. All right, time to get back to today's video. So yeah, I realized that, you know, I want to do so much more. And I realized with the power of the subconscious mind, I have to, you know, write the things that I want to do and then meditate on those things that I want to do, because I do want to be able to help people with my voice and be able to share, because I know a lot of times people don't know if information is not brought to them. So clearly either you're a subscriber and you're brought to my channel to see this content, or you you know, have searched me. I don't really know, but I realize that I have the gift of being able to help people and share different experiences. I'm a very transparent person, so I like to be able to help people. I like to be able to be relatable, because I think when you're relatable, people can go, okay, I get it. It doesn't have to be all extra, because I know even with starting my YouTube channel, I was telling people, you don't have to be perfect. You know, your background don't have like a scary monster or something in the background, but it doesn't have to be all perfect. If you have clothes on the bed, you're human, you're whatever, you know, it is what it is. You don't have to always be perfect. So yeah, I just realized that there's so much more that I want to do. And I realized that it was a good experience that I went through. And it was good sometimes when you go through those experiences, because of course you learn, and it's like failing forward and just, you know, trying out what does not work for you. And I know that sometimes, a lot of times, people think that, you know, trying things out is bad, like, oh, you're wasting your time. But it's like, if I didn't try that, how would I know that's not something that I want to do? And I think that some people are too afraid to trial and error and to fail to get feedback, that they're like, no, don't do that. But I'm not ashamed to say it didn't work out as planned. I'm not ashamed to say, you know, it was somewhat of a waste of time, in the sense of I did a lot for nothing in return besides $80 worth of free products. But now I can say that's something I've done. And even with after learning the things about the subconscious mind, if I wanted to, I probably could 100% make that be so much more, because I know what I know, but that's really not my desire to do that. So yeah, so guys, I thank you always for taking the time to stop by my channel and watch this video. I hope it was helpful. I do want to hear from you guys. If there's something that you realize that, why was I doing that? Why was I not spending time doing something more profitable or beneficial to myself? But now I've understood that I can do anything I want to. Go ahead and put that down in the comments. And I do want to leave you with one thing to think about. And I may butcher this up a little bit, but I'll do my best. So I heard this stat that said that the average person that may watch 4 hours or so of TV or be on Instagram just searching and not doing anything purposeful, that their lifespan, if they do that, they would have wasted 13 years of their life that they cannot get back. So I just think that's really interesting and something to think about whenever you're saying, I don't have the time, or I can't, or I'm not good enough. You literally have 13 years worth of time to read, to learn a new skill. And I realized for me, that's what has helped my subconscious a lot. First of all, about reading about the subconscious mind, and then reading other books that help broaden my thinking in order to see myself as such a wonderful person that I am, and get rid of those limiting beliefs that make me feel that I can't, I'm not good enough, it's too hard. I don't want none of that. And I'm slowly but quickly, I'm slowly learning different things, but I'm very quickly, as I learn them, pushing them out so I can go ahead and, you know, move forward to the next phase. So guys, thank you so much. And until next time, love and light.